Good morning and welcome to the licensing panel. My name is Councillor Lorraine Grocott and I'm the chair for this meeting. Please note that the meeting is also being broadcast live and members of the public are able to view the proceedings. Present with me are members of the licensing panel and I invite them to introduce themselves.
My name is Maggie O'Hare, Licensing Officer.
Arla Cronin, Legal Officer.
Chris Mills, Member of the Licensing Committee.
Also present with me are Olivia Quinn, Democratic Services Officer, Arla Cronin, Legal Officer, and Maggie O'Hare, Licenses Officer. We now move to the agenda. Item 2, apologies for absence. Have we received any apologies?
No apologies, Chair.
Thank you. Disclosure of interests. Do any committee members have any interest that they would like to declare in relation to the item on the agenda? That's a no then. Okay, so moving to item 4 now. This is the case for today. So Hackney Carriage Vehicle Licence Extension for Mr. M. Saeed. I now hand over to the licensing officer to present the application.
Thank you, Chair. Today we're here to consider an application from Mr. Mohammed Saeed, dated the 18th of April 2024, for the renewal of a Hackney Carriage Vehicle Licence for vehicle registration number SF12GJV. The vehicle exceeds the maximum age as set out in the policy of the Council. Mr. Mohammed is seeking permission for an extension on the Hackney Carriage licence plate number 37, registration number SF12GJV. A copy of the email received from Mr. Saeed on the 18th of April 2024 is attached at Appendix 1. The vehicle is a red Peugeot Partner TP. It was first registered on the 4th of April 2012. The vehicle logbook V5 confirms this and is also shown at Appendix 2. The vehicle was first licensed by Stratford-on-Avon District Council licensing team on the 25th of March 2015. Mr. Saeed has applied to renew his Hackney Carriage Vehicle licence, which expired on the 20th of July 2024, for a further 12 months. At the time of this application, the vehicle fell outside the 12-year age policy for Hackney Carriage vehicles, wheelchair accessible vehicles. The matter was discussed with Mr. Saeed, who respectfully requested that the application be placed before the licensing panel today. In support of his application for a 12-month extension, Mr. Saeed cites the current cost of living crisis and the overwhelming influx of Uber vehicles into the town, which he claims impacts his income with a loss of 60%. He's therefore not in a position financially to replace the vehicle. A copy of the Stratford-on-Avon District Council Hackney Carriage and private hire policies will be provided to the panel, entitled Wheelchair Accessible Vehicles, and this can be found on page 10, item 4, which I've marked with a paper clip. The paragraph states that all WAVs, which are wheelchair accessible vehicles, can benefit from an extension to the maximum age policy for the vehicle to 12 years. Mr. Saeed's vehicle at the time is 12 years and 3 months in age, therefore falling outside the current age policy. The application fee is calculated to cover a 12-month period. This enables officers to annually check that the current level of insurance is in place and that the correct number of MOT and taxi test inspections have taken place during the licensed period. The vehicle was available, and you have seen that this morning for inspection. All licensed vehicles which are over 36 months in age are required to undergo an MOT and taxi test every 6 months. During COVID, the government granted a 6-month extension to enable the use of vehicles for work purposes. This exemption ran from the 30th of March 2020 to the 31st of July 2020. Therefore, from the 1st of August 2020, every vehicle required a valid MOT. Records show that the requirement of 6 monthly testing has not been met on a number of occasions since the 1st of August 2020, and a table showing this is at Appendix 3. The most recent MOT and taxi testing was carried out on the 14th of June 2024 by an authorised garage and was found to be mechanically sound. The mileage at that time was 221,728 miles. Both certificates are shown at Appendix 4. The Hackney Carriage Vehicle Licence expired on the 20th of July of this year, and as of that date of the panel, he's benefited for 28 days extension. This enabled cover for the period up to and including this hearing. The vehicle was granted a Hackney Carriage Licence from the 21st of July to the 21st of August 2024. Options available to the Licensing Panel Committee. To exercise its discretion and renew Mr Saeed's Hackney Carriage Vehicle Licence in respect of vehicle registration SF12 GJV for a further 11 months. To exercise its discretion and renew Mr Saeed's carriage vehicle licence in respect of the vehicle for such a period of time as the Licensing Panel Committee considers fit, or to refuse the application for the Hackney Carriage Licence to be renewed. And the rest I will leave in the report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do the panel, any of the panel, have any questions for the licensing officer?
And just to confirm, this isn't the first time it's come before us for an extension. It's not been.
For this vehicle.
Yeah.
For this vehicle, yes.
Right. And at the moment, it is, okay, 12 years. And what are we out of the period?
We're 3 months over that 12-year
right.
age, and then if we give them 12 months, it will obviously be 13 years in age when it's next due for renewal.
Thanks.
Yes, can I ask officers, please, if Mr Saeed has any other vehicles registered with us for his use, please?
No, he does not.
Thank you. Could I also ask about the MOTs? It's supposed to be done every 6 months, is that correct? So there are gaps here where he has not, there's been longer than 6 months. So does that mean that the Hackney carriage should be on the road when it has not got the valid MOT in that area?
What should happen is that the vehicle should be checked every 6 months, both for MOT and taxi tests, once it's gone over 36 months of age. Obviously, we as licensing officers will check periodically to see if that's the case. And if it's a pass, obviously it stays on the road. If it's been a fail, it's taken off the road. But obviously the obligation is on the driver to ensure that those 6 monthly tests are carried out.
So just to clarify then, if you had an inspection on this vehicle when it hadn't had when this test had been missed, you would have sort of ensured that it had gone off the road, yeah?
Only if it had failed. I mean, we would notify them that they've not carried out the 6 month test, and we would encourage them to get that sorted. And if it was a pass, it would stay on the road. If it was a fail, it would come off.
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you. Any further? Sorry, Councillor Wally-Hall.
Officers, sorry about this. It's just, so can I just go back to what Councillor Grocott was just saying then? So we have here the date of the 8th of March 2021, and the MOT was a pass then, with a mileage of 138,708. And then we went all the way through then till February without another test being done. And that test then was a fail. Can you tell me how many letters we wrote to the applicant regarding his failure to have an MOT, and what his response was during that time, please?
When the vehicles go in to be tested, MOT'd and taxi tested, it's the obligation of the garage to let us know that the vehicle's failed. If they don't notify us, which they didn't, we would not be aware. There is also an onus on the driver to let us know also. So no letters have gone out in relation to that failure.
Because you weren't open.
We weren't notified. There's an authorised garage scheme, so we have a number of garages who are authorised examiners on behalf of the District Council. They're supposed to notify us and send us every MOT and taxi test upon completion. And then they're supposed to notify passes and fails. And on this occasion, we were not notified.
And was this garage the same garage that's been used throughout by this applicant?
I don't know the answer to that question, I'm sorry. I believe that the applicant, Mr. Saeed, may be able to tell us if he uses the same garage.
Thank you, officers. I now invite Mr. Saeed to make his representation. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you. Sorry, good afternoon. Apologies for being late, keeping you waiting. When I applied for extension, as far as the trade is going, it's the night time is virtually non-existent these days. I was just telling Maggie earlier on that this Friday gone, I waited 2 hours for one fare. It's virtually impossible, to survive in Stratford these days as a nighttime driver. Especially regarding the Uber drivers, 50 to 60%, they are taking impact on the takings. As far as the mileage from my last MOT till now just states that most of my mileage is actually on the M40 whilst coming on to work, 45 miles there and back. So that's like, nearly 200 miles a week. So majority of the mileage is actually on the motorway. And to be honest, I've come to that point where it's what do I do now? It's literally getting impossible to earn a living doing this job in Stratford. Unless you've got regular clientele or you've got some, like if you're registered, even the bases are struggling, like Ideal or Tello. They're even struggling themselves. And I'm just by myself. Even the regular customers that I did have, which weren't that many, they don't call anymore. They just go to Uber. Being such a small town, it's literally gone viral overnight as far as Uber has gone. And, there have been a number of occasions in this last year that I've actually come into work and I haven't actually made anything and went home. On the quieter days, like let's say if I come, in this job, you mostly have to at least do 5 days to make it pay for your car, for wear and tear, for day-to-day expense. But if you come in, you're waiting. Thank God for Netflix that are on the phone to pass the time,
Thank you, Mr. Saeed. Just Yeah, a quick question from me. So at the moment, you have this vehicle which has gone for 12 years and 3 months, which is obviously over our policy, and you're struggling, as you say, to make a living with this. Have you any contingency or plans to replace this vehicle at any point?
I'm quite optimistic. I'm hoping something within, I believe there was a meeting with the licensing officers a few weeks ago. I was meant to come in, but unfortunately I was at Eid party that day, so I couldn't actually attend that meeting, but I would have loved to come and, have a chat with the licensing. I'm hoping that they can help us out and change the circumstances, either the vehicles or, if something can be done about the Uber, influx. It's like, I'm just being optimistic. They're currently going for about 35 to 40,000 pounds to replace. And I'm hoping either if one of the lads, or he might retire or somebody else is selling, then I might replace it, buy it off them. But if not, it's, I'll see how hopefully something fingers crossed, something will turn up.
Thank you. Do any of the panel have questions? Yes. Go.
Thank you very much. Actually, before I speak, Ms. Said, on the Ms. Said is a nighttime or evening driver. Are there two separate licenses during the day? There's not. It is. That chooses to. Okay. Is your trade around Stratford or where?
I work 100% in Stratford. Yeah. I have been working here for a long time. I was just saying to Maggie earlier, and as the way the trade is now, I've never seen it like that. Where on a Friday night, when people would be waiting for you, or maximum after COVID, that you might be waiting about 15 minutes maximum. Now, we're just sat there, for 2 hours this weekend. I was sat there and I just haven't got really words.
But you choose to work in the evenings as opposed to during the day?
I came in a few weeks ago to pick my plates up and my badge and had a walk around town. And during the day, it's the same. Every corner you turn, there's an Uber taxi plated from Wolverhampton, Solihull, Birmingham. We even got Dudley drivers here. There'll probably be more, but these are the ones that are coming to my heart.
And sorry, at the moment, we're fully MOT'd, and fully MOT'd, everything's safe, apart from that brake light that's out at the moment, which is going to be replaced, we hope. Okay.
Councillor Wally-Hoggins, did you have a question?
Yes, I wonder if you could explain to us how MOTs have been missed, please, that should have happened. I'm particularly perplexed by the MOT failing to present the vehicle for an MOT in September 2021, because when you had it MOT'd eventually in February 2022, the vehicle failed its MOT for quite a substantial reason, for which I'm a little bit of a loss as to why you weren't aware that was there. You failed that MOT because the near side rear tyre had a tear caused by separation or partial failure of its structure, which is actually a really serious matter when you're looking at wheels and tyres and so forth. And also the near side front headlight was for a projected beam was obviously incorrect. But I'm perpetually telling people that I know that actually if you're going to spend money and look after something, actually your tyres are one of the most important bits because it's between you and the road, really. So I'd like an explanation, please, as to why you were driving round clearly with a vehicle that was going to fail its MOT test until February 2022, please. So let me just, for the point of anybody watching this, Mr. Saeed was driving in a vehicle from September 2021, so that's September, October, November, December, for 6 months, and it then subsequently failed its test. Thank you.
As regards the MOTs, in the first one between, I believe, 2020, I think, when it was COVID, the one that you're regarding to is the with the tyre. I mean, I use the car as for home use as well. The tyre that was the one that I took was because, you know, I had the, you know, puncture. So that was in the boot. So I just put that on to get to the garage. They, you know, replaced the tyre virtually the same day as well, you know. In 20 years I've worked here, in that time, sorry I'm nervous, you know, never has my vehicle, either somebody made a complaint or any, you know, regarding my driving. I've got no penalty points on my license. You know, even, you know, I've never been stopped by a police officer in 20 years, touch wood, you know, but it's, I mean, normally before COVID, my MOTs were always on track and everything, and, you know, but after COVID, that between 2020, I think there was some government extension given for 6 months. I assumed that that was for us taxi drivers as well, that we can get that extension, you know. So, and to be honest, in that 1 year, I did not work because the mileage shows I've only done 4,000 miles between 2020 and 2021. I mean, that was just private mileage, and whole year I didn't work literally because there was no work. A couple occasions I did come in just to have a check. I mean, 5 hours I was sat on the rank just, you know, talking to the other drivers, and it was, as you all know, in that time, there was only Tesco and Morrison's open, there was nothing else open, so it was, nothing was moving, you know.
Could I ask just again, so in all your years of being a Hackney cab driver, you've not had any accidents or points on your licence? No. Fantastic.
I mean, somebody's run into me, another taxi driver, in, I believe, 2011, but I have not had an accident.
No. But you're, thank you. And you're coming out of the area, so do you come from Birmingham, did you say, to actually, into Stratford to work? Sorry? Yeah. And, you know, you say you've been here during the day and seen that the rank is as busy as it is at night. Is there any particular reason why you work just at night? Do you do any, what do you do during the day, if you don't mind me asking?
I've got an elderly mum, and she's got dementia, and she suffers from schizophrenia, and she's aging now. She's in her 80s, so, you know, I stay with her, You know, my brother, he stays with her in the night. Yeah.
Are there any further questions from the panel?
Not for me, Chair, no.
Can I ask a question to officers and to Mr. Saeed? When does the current MOT, when is the next MOT due, please?
It was recently tested in June, so it'll be 6 months.
6 months,
from
just 6 months
June.
from then, yeah. Thank you.
Does Mr. Saeed have any further comments to add?
I would be grateful if, you know, I can have some time till next July, see, you know, where it's going to take me. But you know, I mean, like I said earlier on regarding the, I mean, in all that time I've been here, I mean, I've known Maggie for a while. I haven't met Rachel before. Normally it's Tony and Paul that I see. You know, I mean, it's. I think it's. I mean, I think COVID has had a massive impact on the way, you know, people go out as well. There's obviously cost of living. It's affecting everybody. I would, you know, was like, you know, that's it really. I mean, I was just, I mean, apologies for the MOTs missed. I mean, the second one, because we were given 16 months plate as well, and that's sort of like, but it's a, you know, it comes into my, that I should be on top of that, you know, you know, it's my fault. I'm not blaming anybody, you know, but that's my, and, you know, unfortunately the last, you know, one of them, you know, I had a reminder from yourself, Rachel, that, you know, you missed the MOT and, you know, and yeah, it's like it's our job to, if, you know, look at that, you know, not blaming anybody, but, you know, apologies for the missing the MOTs, you know, but prior to COVID, every time I've been getting my car tested, I mean, it's like in the time I've worked here, I've seen so many people that were youngsters now they're going out, you know, for a night out. And, you know, I mean, I love working in Stratford. That's why I travel into Stratford, but I think, you know, the way things are going, I mean, unless, I mean, I'm actually asking Rachel and Maggie as well that you guys need to help us, you know, because, you know, it's either going to be them or us, you know, I think. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Saeed. We are now moving into deliberation, and Mr. Saeed will be advised of the decision within 5 working days. Thank you for attending the meeting today. Next item. That's okay.
Being late.
Okay, that's right. Is there any urgent business?
Not for us.
No? Okay,
No
then.
urgent business, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, then in that case, I declare this meeting closed. Thank you.